Blessings, everyone in YouTube land. It is just 7:30. I'm going to go live tonight for the first time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So pardon me just one moment. I'm going to get one or two more things lined up here, and we're going to get into it. And tonight's gathering is a little different from our ones in the past. And so because it is my first time going live on Facebook, I just want to bless it. Bless it all and welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to join. As you may know, about a month or two ago, I was facilitating these little meditation meetups here on Instagram and at YouTube. And we were working with the chakras and we were chanting the Bija mantras. And I'm so grateful for the collective that joined there. Blessings and welcome on Instagram and everyone at YouTube and at Facebook. I'm so grateful to have your company here. So tonight we're going to get into mindful meditation. And this practice is very, very powerful. It's very, very simple practice. And really it allows us to go deep into the stillness, deep to the nothingness. It is the kind of practice that asks very little of us other than that we be present, other than we pay attention and really just drop our awareness deeper and deeper within. So thank you for joining. For those of you who don't know, my name is Tuesday May Thomas. Thank you for following at my main page on Insta, but also everyone at Grid Mind Science at Instagram and also on Facebook. And everyone in YouTube land. I'm so grateful for your support and for this beautiful 4D community is what I call it, this where we learn how to live from the divine space of the heart. And it's a never-ending labyrinth. It's a never-ending journey as we go deeper and deeper into the beautiful heart space that we all share, that we all have individually, but that we all share collectively, that divine wisdom that gives us so, so very much. And our meditation practices are such a very powerful part of our ability to go in and to listen, to connect at the heart center, to connect with our own hearts and with the hearts of all. You know, energetically, the heart space is that divine place of no time, of no thing, of no thingness, where everything is allowed to manifest and come into being of its divine own will, if you will. So there is no mind in the heart in the way that I teach. I know in some Buddhism sects, they speak that the mind is actually in the heart. Yet the heart is all-knowing, yet it is from a place of an intuitive landscape. I feel that the heart knows, the heart attunes with the wisdom of truth that is rooted always in the frequency of love, always as the baseline of that 0 point that is the gateway in the tiny space of the heart. And so all of our meditation practices absolutely serve us in tapping that divine, beautiful place in our hearts, tapping our own ability to reset and align with the parasympathetic nervous system that is our own nervous system and the branch of it that is aligning us with the digest and rest aspect versus the fight or flight, right? We get into stress mode and sometimes we're not even aware that we're living in stress mode. We get used to living in that way. And our meditation practices, our conscious listening, our conscious breathing and being really help us to come into a sense of center and a sense of being in the world and not of the world, going beyond the grid matrix, going even beyond the Akashik records and into that divine place of the now and what I like to call the nowosphere. Thank you for saying hi on Instagram and waving. And again, thank you for everyone at Facebook and on YouTube as well. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit. In our practice, we're only going to go for half an hour tonight. I want to just read you a little bit about mindfulness. Mindfulness in everyday life is the practice of consciously placing one's attention in the present moment by observing what takes place in the now. This includes all that arises in one's mind and every feeling that occurs in one's body or emotions. The most important part of mindfulness is the practice of observing what abides without passing judgment on it. The practice of mindfulness lies in being present with what is without feeling the need to change what is. And this is such a powerful, such a powerful place to be. And we call that, right, in the spiritual communities, we call that allowing, to just simply be with what is without needing to change it, without needing to tweak it, without needing to rearrange anything or control anything. And this is a big one. This is a big one for most of us because we're trained and we're taught in this world. Blessings. Thank you for joining on Facebook. We're taught, to handle it. We're taught to get a handle on it and to control it and to make it whatever we want it to be. But we learn with our meditation this divine aspect of grace and this divine sense of allowing things to be. And as we pay attention in that now moment to what is within ourselves, that creates that divine sacred space for the sacred to enter when we get out of our minds and into our hearts. And that's really all that we're learning to do with mindful meditation. I'm going to read you one more thing and then we're going to review our practice. So, mindful meditation is the practice of sitting in stillness and observing the fluctuation of your thoughts without adding an opinion of judgment. For example, if you sit in mindful meditation and discover a plethora of thoughts running through your mind, the practice is to observe the thoughts without reacting to them or judging them as good or bad. The observer simply plays a witness to internal thoughts, physical sensations, external sounds, or the breath moving in and out of the body. Blessings and welcome, everyone. If you're just joining, I'm so grateful that you're here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through 6 different settings. Blessings, Nikki. I didn't see you there. Thank you for joining tonight. We're going to go through 6 different settings, and we're going to sit for 2 minutes each. I'm going to put the little timer on. We're just going to sit for 2 minutes each, and the first one is stillness, is no fidgeting. And the second one is conscious breathing. And I'll go into each of them a little deeper as we go through. The third one is expansion of the senses. And the fourth, observing thoughts. The fifth, redirection. And the sixth, acceptance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to go right in. And we're going to get yourself comfortable in whatever seat feels good for you, that allows you to have the spine erect and that serves your hips, your knees, and your back, whatever that is for you. Go ahead and close your eyes. And the practice with stillness with this first one is no fidgeting. So make any adjustments to your seat that you know will serve you so that there's no pain or there's nothing pinching or poking. If you need to loosen a belt or any sort of tight clothing, just go ahead and make your adjustments. And take a nice deep breath in and out. And we'll do 2 more, just a slow, deep breath in and a full breath out. And 1 more. And as always, I am going to invite you, everyone who participates in this practice, to enter into the rose quartz crystalline cave, this multidimensional sacred space that we connect through our hearts within, to do this work here tonight together. And feel yourself centered in the beautiful space of this rose quartz crystalline cave. And from this place of being centered in this sacred space, drop into your heart center and connect with your higher self, however that looks, however that feels for you. Just consciously connect with your higher self here through your heart in this beautiful rose quartz crystalline cave. And once you're connected, take another breath and feel yourself fully arrive as a conscious participant in this practice tonight. So our first practice is stillness. I'm going to set the timer and we're going to sit for 2 minutes and we're just going to practice being still without fidgeting, making any little adjustments and then finding that beautiful still point and being here. Okay. You can open your eyes, take a breath. So, as you may notice, if you've done other more activated or sort of more guided or shamanic guided meditations, this is very, very different because you get to just be very present with yourself, with your thoughts, your body, and your breath. So, we're going to move on to the next one, which is conscious breathing. And this is very simple. For 2 minutes, we're just going to observe the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. If your mind wanders, starts to think about other things, just bring your awareness back to just that feeling, just that sensation of the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. So make any adjustments to your seat if you need to change anything so you're comfortable. Close your eyes and we'll go back in, just observing that breath, the sensation as it moves in and out through the nostrils. Just noticing the sensations. If the air feels cool or warm, it feels different as the inhale takes place, and different through the exhale. can soften the gaze open. Take a nice breath. And thank you everyone for joining on Facebook and YouTube and at Instagram and for saying hi. I pray that everything I share when I go live really serves our collective path of spiritual growth and sovereignty. And I know for me, meditation is an aspect that has and continues to truly serve my peace. And peace is when you can be in peace with your own mind, with your own thoughts, in your body, and not just for a brief moment, but as an ongoing reality. It's priceless. It's priceless. And from that peaceful place to make your choices, your decisions, or to reflect on maybe where you could have made different choices or different decisions without being hard on yourself, but from a place of expansion, from the heart and the mind connecting from that peaceful place with the heart. So the third exercise, expansion of the senses. So for this one, for 2 minutes, we're going to feel into the heartbeat. We're going to sense the air on the skin. We're going to bring our attention not only to the feeling of the air as it moves in and out of the nostrils, but if there's any aroma in the air. And we're going to listen to sounds inside and outside of the room. Like even now I can hear neighbors across the way. And so those kinds of things, we're going to expand through the senses and feel into really letting your ability to hear, your ability to see with the eyes closed, but through your third eye, to extend an awakening. Perhaps you see through the veils with your eyes closed and you get a sense of an energetic schematic of the space, the room you're in, your sense of smell, your hearing, or the taste, maybe taste buds if you're smelling something cooking, and maybe how that affects your ability to taste it on your tongue. So expansion of the senses. Again, make any little adjustments to your seat and we'll go in for another 2 minutes. So take your time, take a breath. We'll close the eyes and we'll drop in. Expansion of the senses. Just let all of your senses open up and feel safe to do so. You're connected with your higher self in this beautiful rose quartz crystalline cave. So what do you hear as you expand your sense of hearing? As you open to listen, not only in the space around yourself, but perhaps the space within. Does the air feel a certain quality upon your skin? Is your sense of smell or taste activated by your environment? Are you able to see beyond the closed eyelids through your third eye? And no forcing, just being open, allowing those senses to gently expand. You can gently open the eyes and take another breath in and out. And even just from these first 3 exercises, tapping into the subtle aspect of your energy and noticing if you feel an actual expansion of your field, of your auric field, a gentling of the mental body, a balancing of your emotional set points. I'm just observing, especially if this is really new, and even if it's not, Each meditation, even though it might be the same practice you do over and over again, each meditation can really offer us each just so much, so much happenstance and so much realignment. If you do yoga, you know you might be doing the same poses over and over, but each session is completely unique and different because you are. You're always different, you're always changing, yet our meditation and our spiritual practices bring us in tune with the part of us that is never changing, the part of us that is rooted always in love, in the frequencies of peace, and the power that that peace has when it's truly charged and radiating from within you and through all of your senses and through all of your actions and through your words and your mind and your tongue. You begin to make an interdimensional shift into the heart, and you're no longer bound into the matrix. You are able to be free and sovereign again in the world, not of it. And the way I teach is that it's all always through the heart center. And these beautiful practices, like our meditation, just help us with grace come into that beautiful space of the heart. So, our next practice, observing thoughts without judgment and without adding to thoughts as they arise. We're just going to observe them. So, no judging, right? If you maybe there's something that you've done recently and you wish you could have responded differently. And maybe sometimes I know we replay these things in our mind and then we might kind of start beating up on ourselves. Don't do that. If that's one of the things for you, just let it replay and just observe it without adding to it, right? They say like that thoughts are like a train, right? In meditation, and you can have like one train car and you can watch it go by. You can just be like, okay, like that's a thought. And then you can see a second train car. You go, okay. But then when you start to add the train cars to the cars, and then now all of a sudden you're building a city with ideas and consciousness, and it becomes an entity. And we give it power, right, by giving it our attention. And so what we're doing is we're learning to detach and just become an observer without judging ourselves, without judging our thoughts, without adding to them, but just letting them go. There's this really cool teaching that speaks to thoughts only have about a 2 or 3 second lifespan. And so when you don't give that thought the attention, the judgment, the adding to that thought, and creating a story about that thought or around it, that that it will just disappear organically. And I know it can happen, and it might come back. So the practice is to just continue observing and non-judging and not adding to it. So thank you for joining again. I see some more people hopping on. So thank you so much. We have a few more exercises, so do join us, connecting with your higher self. We're sitting in a beautiful interdimensional quartz, crystalline, rose quartz crystalline cave that centers all of our hearts, that connects all of our hearts. And we're going in for 2 minutes, and we have 3 more. So this one is observing thoughts. Make any adjustments to your seat, and let's take a breath and close our eyes and go back in for 2 minutes and do the timer. And so again, just observing the thoughts as they come without adding to them and without judging them. Just letting them pass. All right. Take a breath, open your eyes. So, how was that? I know I certainly had some thoughts going on. And it's okay. It's okay to have thoughts. It's absolutely okay to go have thoughts. Oh, Julie. Blessings. Rita, Tony, Charles. Blessings and welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. So we have two more. Redirection. When the student becomes aware, they are judging their thoughts or adding to them, or are fidgeting. They practice redirection by shifting their awareness back to stillness and starting all over again. So if you were joining from the very beginning, the very first practice we had was stillness, was just 2 minutes of stillness with zero fidgeting, just being as still as possible, just allowing the breath to move through us. So here we go. Redirection. When you become aware that you're judging your thoughts, when you become aware that you're fidgeting, you're adding to your thoughts, that you're going outside of that sense of stillness, consciously redirect your practice to bring you to stillness, to bring you to a place of conscious non-fidgeting, of conscious being and breathing. Okay, so we'll go back in. Redirection. Closing the eyes, taking a breath. And so ultimately, the practice here is stillness. If thoughts come, just let them go by. The moment you notice you add or you judge, or you begin to fidget, redirect your awareness, your energy back to stillness. Even if you have to do it over and over again, that's the practice. All right. You can gently open your eyes and take another breath. Beautiful. So, again, just checking in with your energy. Do you feel an expansion? Do you feel a contraction? Do you feel tingly? Do you feel nothing at all? And again, without judging any of it, just notice. Notice how you're feeling. So, the last of our practices is acceptance. The mindful meditation student practices complete acceptance of whatever arises. Excuse me. Mind and body, without viewing things as good or bad. So, no matter what happens, if your foot starts to fall asleep, if something starts to get itchy, but you know you're supposed to practice stillness and not fidget, whatever it is, right? Don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself or your body or whatever your experience is, but just accept it. Just accept it. And if you break your stillness and you need to itch your nose, that's okay. Just accept it and just be okay with whatever comes to pass. All right. Acceptance. This is our last round. We'll close the eyes and go back in. Just accepting if you feel warm, if you feel cold, if you feel hungry, if you feel lonely. Whatever it is, just accept it. Allow, allow all of the experiences you're having. So go ahead and take that breath. Awaken. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to facilitate this guided meditation the second Monday of every month, and maybe a little bit more, but for now, we're going to do it the second Monday of every month, same time. And I thank you for following and for being a part of this community. Every Thursday I go live, and now that I have this set up for Facebook, I'll be able to join on Facebook as well as Instagram and YouTube with my weekly live stream called 4D Trinity, where we bridge mind, body, and emotions with spirit, and we create the frequency of heaven on earth realization. And we do that through the heart. All is channeled through the heart, all about metaphysics and our spiritual multidimensionality. The teachings I share are all about healing and ascension, learning how to master the grid matrix with fourth dimensional consciousness. That's the consciousness, the activation and awareness of the heart center. So I'm so grateful to share that with you. I'll be on Facebook Live this Thursday morning, every Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and as always on YouTube and on Instagram, but on my main page at Insta, Tuesday May Thomas, for my weekly live stream, 4D Trinity. So thank you so much, everyone. If you're interested in being a part of my community on another level, go to my main page, to my website, Tuesday May Thomas. It's my name. And on the first page, you can sign up for my monthly love letter. I send out a monthly love letter. I have books. I'm going to be making online courses and all sorts of juiciness to share. So in the meantime, thank you for being here and being a part of this beautiful evening. And I look forward to sharing with you again. Namaste and blessings, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone on Facebook. Blessings. Oops, wrong button. There we go. And my youth fam. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you. You're my old school fam from the beginning. Lots of love.